crow on the windowsill.
What the f*** was that?
That was really weird. Like, he's all wobbling up there and he's like, look what I can do. Nobody.
Daniela Romo hair.
Pero I don't know about that one. It's like, who the f*** is making these rules? The goddamn crow? A birdie? What's going on? It's not a must-watch by any means, but I do think that if you compare it to what was going on back then...
It is a what must-watch, douche.
I don't think it is.
Why not?
Oh, come on, neta?
Quick impression for you. Caw, bang! I'm dead!
Welcome to the list. This is a show we pluck a name out of an all-time movie watch list, watch it, and review it for your review and pleasure. The movie we're scratching off the list today is 1994 cult classic, The Crow. Puta madre, okay. Pues no veo, pendejo.
Están los lentes, cara.
Pues there's no nerdy crow, so I have to squint to read.
Call your crow, douche.
I can't. Hey, you're my crow. Vigilante. A man brutally murdered comes back to life as an undead avenger of his and his fiance's murder.
So didn't he kind of mark a generation? From 36 to 45 that a writer dies for The Crow.
I believe it's something that lives more in the zeitgeist due to what happened during the filming than the actual film itself.
Okay.
Like, I don't think the film is something that should go into legendary status, but everything behind it, what ultimately happened to Brandon Lee, the theories, all that other stuff did mark itself in history, I feel like. It's a cool movie. I feel like it's an interesting character more than anything, but it's very of its time. I don't think it's like, it's not a must watch by any means. But I do think that if you compare it to what was going on back then, I think it's pretty good.
It is a what must watch, douche.
I don't think it is.
Why not?
Oh, come on, neta?
A must watch?
Yeah.
You have to watch The Crow, man.
You have to watch The Crow.
For like superhero fans, yeah.
In that world.
I feel like, okay, if you only get 50 superhero movies to watch, you think The Crow's in there?
Yeah.
50 is a lot. 25?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Probably.
There's 32 Marvel movies on itself.
You could put it in the bottom.
This is way better than most of the new Marvel movies. Come on.
True.
Potentially. I don't well, you guys think it's a must watch. I don't know.
Well, I get the thing you said. I mean, probably that thing made it more.
Yeah, that thing definitely affected it.
Yeah.
Do we know when he passed away? At what part of the movie?
They obviously did not use the scene where he passes away. I was trying to figure that too, because shout outs to the editors, it doesn't feel like he was missing. But he passed away and the accident happened so early on in the movie. A lot of it is shot by his stunt doubles. He passed away pretty early on during production, and he was shooting the scene where Eric dies. So well, the guy that shoots him is supposed to shoot him with a paper bag over the gun. And they wanted to make it more extra, I guess. So even though that the gun was filled with blanks, it had a little gunpowder to make a noise. So when they shot the gunpowder went off, and the blanks went towards Brandon Lee in such force that became fatal wounds. There's also a bunch of theories about the Chinese mafia and all that other stuff. We're not going to get into that.
No.
We're just going to accept the facts that it was a terrible, horrific accident that happened. I do feel that this movie did a great job in honoring him. They didn't like shine him in the wrong light, or they didn't overuse him, or they didn't do anything to paint him in a wrong way in any other way. I think he was doing a great job too, and might be a must watch in your guys' case if you think so, because of everything that revolved around the movie.
Probably, yeah.
Before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down there. Greatly appreciate every single comment, every interaction with you guys. Now, let's get into The Crow. On Devil's Night, October 30th, that city felt like alive to me. It felt like a Gotham type thing.
Oh, yeah. The city's a character.
Yeah.
Machingwe.
Yeah, it's red smoke, big deal, but that's way more than a lot of other movies, especially during this time we're doing.
Yeah.
So on Devil's Night, murders that happen, and the Ghostbusters are on the case. Well, I guess it was just Winston.
Yeah. After that, he joined the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, this was his life prior.
Yeah.
Why are you smoking on a crime scene? And why are you touching things without gloves? Hold on. It's 90s. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But we find that newlyweds were attacked in a fire. That's all we get. And then we fast forward a year later where we see that Shelby and Eric, our characters from the fire, have passed away. And a crow is standing on Eric's tombstone, pecking around. We do get a voiceover with the little girl saying that crows take the spirits, but sometimes they bring them back. So it's a year later, and we see Luther, the head of the rogues from the Warriors. Remember him?
Warriors, come out to play.
Como caga el palo ese güey.
Love the guy because I hate his characters.
He's a bad guy in Commando. He kills
Yeah.
Adam Sandler in The Longest Yard. He's always a bastard. He's never a good guy.
Yeah.
So we see Eric come back to life, and then we see T-Bone, which is the name of the actual character, who sets an explosion and blows up the arcade. Eric starts waddling back to his apartment like a junkie after a rough night. It's actually been a rough year, and then he starts getting flashback of the night of the murder.
Imagine walking barefoot in a city like that. Ugh.
Oof, yeah, but there's a bunch of probably needles on the floor and shit.
Yeah, walking through sewer water.
Good thing he can heal himself, which this is shown to us while he's doing a weird-ass trick on the windowsill.
What the f was that?
That was really weird. Like, he's all wobbling up there, and he's like, look what I can do. Nobody. Then he sits there and decides to paint his face for some weird reason.
Well, he saw the mask. You see the mask he was
I
in
know, but what's the reason why? Like, that's what I kind of mean, that there's a lot of things that are vague. I do feel like the face paint's cool. It comes off tough. It doesn't look cheesy where it could have been, you know, even though they tried to make it look cheesy by having them calling him a clown every second they had. But he looks cool. It doesn't look cheesy to me.
That was some expensive makeup because that shit was waterproof.
Well, what actually was happening is that Lee would put the makeup on the day before and would sleep with it on, and that's why he comes up and it looks a little bit more rugged because he's had it on for 24 hours already. But he don't only put on cool makeup, he also put on his punky clothes that he was using when he was in the band. I do feel like this is like the quickest origin story for a superhero movie ever, way. Brandon doesn't even have a line yet, and it's 20 minutes and he's already the Crow.
And I love it.
That's good. Do you need that backup story?
A little bit.
I mean, not always.
I mean, you kind of get it through the movie.
But it's like, where the Crow? Like, who's the Crow? Is there a god? There's like something missing.
Is there a god? I love it.
Well, it says it brings people from the dead, but it's not going to be the same person.
Right.
They're different crows.
He's attached to this crow, and then Eric is starting to discover his abilities through the crow.
Yeah.
And he's doing the straight up Assassin's Creed shit where he can see what the crow sees. And then he, right after that, he straight up does a goddamn eagle dive.
Assassin's Creed does the Crow, not the other way around. Cállese a la verga. Boss, back me up on this.
They didn't call it anything. What's the name of the dive?
I haven't played Assassin's Creed.
Ahí está.
Sorry.
Death drop, bitch.
No, it's an eagle dive, boo. The crow finds the first bad guy and he confronts him and starts fighting, and they get more and more and starts stabbing the shit out of the guy. Then T-Bone meets up with the Candyman,
Yes.
who's actually the bodyguard for the big bad guy, who's chilling with two naked mijas.
Yeah.
But isn't Ted?
Hell yeah. But then one of the mijas is actually dead, and the other one wants her eye for some weird reason.
She's kind of like a witch, no?
That's another thing too. What the hell were those potions for? What is their deal? What the hell do they want?
Was left too vague.
Because what she really needs is a makeup artist. God damn, girl. What the hell's wrong with your face? Is your eyebrows and makeup and lipstick is all f***ed up?
Yeah.
I can do a better job.
Once I saw the lipstick, I did not see anything else.
Eric goes to the pawn shop looking for a ring. He gets shot and he gets healed. He fucks up the shop owner pretty good. And here we get more flashbacks. This is what I'm saying. I wish there was more to the character because all I know is that he loves the mija, really. And it's all shown through flashbacks.
That's all you need to know. You love the Mija.
31 years earlier, you can see all that.
Then he blows up the pawn shop. As a warning, he takes a shotgun and a guitar and sets out to go find the rest of the goons that murdered him and his mija.
Such a 90s thing. Takes the guitar.
And another 90s thing is that they forced in a little girl there. Like, I didn't like the little girl either.
Yeah, that felt kind of discombobulated.
Her only reason for there is so she can get kidnapped. But as he's walking away from the pawn shop, Winston finds Eric. He kind of gives him his 411, what's his dealio is, and he starts pulling a Batman. Then we get the bad guy making potions with the eye, and it's all like weird. But T-Bone tells the big bad that Tintin got, and he tells him that he got stabbed in his organs in alphabetical order. Now, how the hell does he know that?
I would imagine
He performed an autopsy?
no, that he was just saying that because he got stabbed a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I took it literal. Then Eric saves the girl from getting run over, and he says,
Can't rain all the time.
Eric?
and he just pulls out a Batman again. Then Winston pulls up files on Eric because he looked familiar and starts doodling on his face, and he figures out that Eric is the Crow.
I like that he wasn't that stupid of a cop. He clocked him.
Well, that does make sense because I guess that case was kind of traumatic for him because he spent all that time with the Mija in the hospital as she was dying and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then he also got demoted, then he got a divorce and all that shit.
So he attached to it.
He's attached to it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. The little girl's mom, Courtney Love, is with Wish Kurt Cobain over here getting high. And the Crow appears and gets shot in the hand and he heals. That's kind of an iconic scene, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I remember that scene even in the TV show.
Eric, he gets to know his power, his shit. He feels more comfortable in doing that, avenging, you know?
He gets shot more, then he shoots the guy and ends up throwing him in the shower because he's stanky. Then he extracts the drugs from Courtney Love and tells her to go to her kid.
No seas puta, mija.
Déjate
Go
puterías.
take your child.
Then we're with Candyman Blade Guy. He's over there. He heads upstairs to find out what's going on. He finds a junkie with a bunch of needles inside of him, and he sees the Crow jump out the window.
You don't think that Crow sign is kind of cool? With the blood and with the fire.
Him doing his little signature there, like I did it. Winston's in his house, in his undies, but he's also wearing the cop hat for some reason. And I like that they pointed it out.
Yeah.
This is where he reveals that Winston stayed with his Mija the whole time at the hospital. Then we go back to the bad guy who's interrogating the pawn guy, who was probably every bad guy in every 90s and early 2000s movie of all time. That fat guy.
Yeah.
One of the most important things I learned from my sister,
Sister? She's supposed to be your sister?
my father's daughter. That's right. What's the matter? You don't see the resemblance?
I would imagine that they're so f***ed up that they don't care they're brothers and sister.
But are they brother and sister, or he's just saying that to mess with the pawn guy?
He's so charismatic that I believe him. Chingas madre.
Doesn't matter. Pawn guy gets murked.
Yeah.
We cut to Eric on the rooftop of his apartment, riffing the f- out of that guitar, and the Crow's out there hustling, finding the last two guys, which is T-Bone and the other goofy ass,
So goofy.
stealing chips and just making a mess. He pops in the back of T-Bone's back seat and they take off, and the other guy gets run over. They start speeding and the cop starts chasing him. The other guy starts following in a beat up car that he got run over in, and then he crashes into the cops.
He was like narrating everything that was happening to him. Oh, dead end. Oh, now, oh my God, the boxes. Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
And what he saw was recognizing his compilla being taped up to the car, getting exploded and drive off into the dock. We get back to Courtney Love being all motherly to her daughter. She was all clean, and the daughter's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Again, I don't think I give a shit about the children. I don't care about the child.
Yeah, we did not need all that drama.
No.
But that scene was actually pretty cool.
It was cute.
Yeah, the kid was like, what, you gonna do that now? Oh, hold on. Oh, you were serious. Okay. Yeah, Mom, I love you.
Yeah, she realized that she hurt her mama's feelings on that. So we cut to Winston, who got suspended because he's been covering for Eric. The little girl goes to the apartment looking for Eric. She has no friends of her age. She's all like hanging with adults. It's like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah. Was her mom's cooker, man? She's down with the bar.
I know, but
she's
she
in the
don't go to
streets.
school. She got no friends at school.
There's no school in there.
Skateboarder that gets free hot dogs.
She can skate in the water.
Oh, see,
So this is where the bad guy IDs Eric. And then he had that same energy with the boss, and they were looking at him like, "You this crazy bastard."
We ought to just videotape this, play it back in slow motion.
Yeah.
that was the line. I loved it.
Because he was spazzing out. Cut to the girl eating hot dogs, being sad that Eric is back. And then she's like, we can't be friends because I'm alive. I didn't understand that line either.
To me, it was like, well, I'm alive, and as soon as he finishes his revenge, he's gonna pass away again.
With that said, I think that the thing with the Crow is that he have to do his mission, kind of. And when he's done, he's
But again,
vanished.
that's not said or explained, or no one tells me that. But he's ripping the guitar again, and he starts to destroy his amp because he's getting ready to gear up to go see the final boss. The boss is giving a meeting to his goons. This guy, his voice didn't match his face. He looked like a Mexican way, and he's all like,
even his hair.
Coors. He's all
hair.
fuck. Yeah, everything was.
Daniela Romo hair.
Talking like Sam Elliott. It was weird. And Eric shows up to the party. They light his ass up.
That scene when they showed him within the table is kind of iconic-ish.
Yeah, because he falls back and then he disappears.
Yeah.
They put the cheat code for infinite ammo. Always kept thinking, why the hell do they have money on the table?
Because it's from their scores. And they're
Probably,
talking
yeah.
to the guy. I don't know, because it looks cool. I don't know. But he kills everybody and he leaves the last guy standing and he throws him out the window. Pretty poetic. The Fuzz shows up and starts chasing him. Winston is right there hanging out the Metiche, picks his ass up. They avoid the Fuzz. Winston helps him with some cools. There was a cool stunt where he jumps off the roof. That was pretty sick. This is where the bad guy starts saying that we hurt the Crow and he wanted the powers. That was weird too. Did he want the powers? Did he not want the powers?
He gets shot in the church and he does not heal.
But that happens because they hurt the Crow.
They heard the crow. Yeah, so he's bound to the crow.
But the Crow's not dead. The Crow is hurt. That's
He's hurt.
It's a bunch of all this like, what the hell's going on, man? If you kill the Crow, he can't. But the Crow wasn't dead.
No, I know, but they're trying to kill it.
But he can't regenerate because his mission was done. He killed the spaz.
So you're saying his powers went away because he completed a mission, not because they hurt the Crow?
Yeah.
So even if they didn't do nothing to the Crow and he gets shot, he would have got hurt?
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know
I didn't.
about that.
That's a different perspective, and I appreciate it because I did not think about that, and that makes sense. But I don't know about that one. It's like, who the is making these rules? The goddamn Crow? A birdie? What's going on?
At the end of the day, we make the rules because they don't explain it that clearly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I put two and two together, and I'm like, oh, that's why he's not regenerating.
See, because he doesn't get shot until after he gets hurt by after the Crow gets hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that is true. He does wax the last guy, and his mission was done. So it could be both ways. I don't know. There's just no definitive answer. Let us know what you think down in the comment. Then we get to see why the little girl doesn't have no friends, because she's a weirdo and she's sleeping next to graves and shit.
Creepy kid.
Eric gives the little girl Shelly's necklace. Then 2 seconds later, the Candyman blade takes the girl, which is what I said was her only purpose of the movies, to get kidnapped. So they trick Eric to the church. They shoot the Crow. I like the bad guy's line, though, when he walks up and sees Eric. He's like,
Quick impression for you.
Bang! I'm dead!
it was random, kind of stupid, but it's funny. I don't know what.
Yeah, that character has a lot of charisma. I love him.
So he shoots Eric. He doesn't heal anymore. Reasons? I don't know. I think I'm buying Felix's theory. I think I like that one better.
I don't know.
So they're about to kill the Crow. Winston shows up and starts blasting fools. Winston shoots Candyman blade. Winston gets hit. The Crow kills La Chinita, pecking the shit out of her eyes, and she falls down.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Then he heads up to the roof. The girl's about to fall. He gets stabbed in the back after a pretty cool sword fight, I guess. But then he transmits 30 hours of pain all at once to the guy and dies.
It's kind of like the one that Ghost Rider does, no? What's it called?
The penance there.
The pen stare. Yeah.
He does the Batman thing one more time to the girl and the cop, and he goes to die next to Shelly. Winston plants the whole vigilante thing on the bad guy that's dead on the roof. Eric kisses his mija, and the Crow flies away. And the movie is dedicated to Brandon and Eliza. Eliza was Brandon Lee's fiance.
Real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the bad guys are very cartoony, yes. Eric, as a character, is kind of deep because it's not just his theatrical undead persona. He is also vulnerable. He opens up. He cares about people.
I felt like the movie didn't convey exactly who Eric was in the movie for me. I was struggling with that because like it felt like he was two different people. He was Eric and then he was the Crow. Because with the Crow, he was like putting this lady with the drugs in the right direction and he was doing all this other stuff. But it didn't feel like Eric, the musician, was this righteous dude. So that disconnect between the Crow and Eric was a thing for me. Like I felt like that was missing something.
Yeah. They didn't show who Eric was. It just said
it's all flashbacks.
Yeah, it's just flashbacks.
There's two scenes that I really liked. When the first one is when he pops into the cop's house.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought that it showed like vulnerability. He was all f***ed up because he saw in the cop's mind what happened to his former future wife. He let the armor down. And when the girl was in his apartment, and when he said, yeah, I do care. That's why I think it has a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth. The super over the top quoting Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Warrior. I love that.
But I guess I just didn't feel like I got to know who and what the Crow was coming from. The Crow was actually based off the comic book. A lot of the ideas were based off of grief and pain and all that other stuff. An original idea also for the movie was for it to be all in black and white because the comic is in black and white.
Oh, that'll be cool, man.
But the studio disagreed. So what's funny about the Crow is that it's actually played by a raven named Magic.
Hold on. What's the difference between a crow and a raven?
Boss?
The size.
Good guess. It's the only actor that appears in all the sequels is Magic the Raven.
It's the same crow?
Yeah, so shout outs to Magic the Raven.
But there are no sequels, man. What sequels?
There were 3 other movies and a Canadian TV show.
TV show was kind of good. The other crow movies.
Yeah, it's weird. They didn't know where they were going, and each story is completely different. Like there's no continuity between them.
They all Eric?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they would adopt and change different things. Like whatever happened in the first one had nothing to do with it.
The next one.
And Kristen Dunst is like in the second one.
And I think Edward Furlong
was in the last one.
Was the last one, yeah. Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah, it's all caca. And in the Canadian TV show, it's the Iron Chef guy who's actually Eric Draven, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. It's weird.
In the actual comics, Eric is like a hardcore druggie, and there's no actual like crow with him. The crow's more of a representation of his mind.
Oh.
And the biggest change, which I'm kind of like not pissed, but I would have much rather have this guy than the stupid little girl, was there's a character called a Skull Cowboy. And he's the guy who meets Eric Draven and is like his mentor and is giving him his direction and kind of gives him the mission to like, you got to go kill these fools because this, he kind of explains everything. But the director felt that he was looking too cheesy and they removed him completely. And instead they added the girl.
Oh, damn. Okay.
He was going to like lay the groundwork to let us know what the hell's going on. Because he could have said, once you complete your mission, once you avenge your loss, then you'll die or whatever. You'll be free or whatever the hell. Just something. But the potential crows for this movie, the number one choice was always Brandon Lee. But because he wasn't a big enough star at this point, the studio was very iffy about it. So they had River Phoenix as a consideration, as well as Christian Slater and good old Johnny Depp.
Maybe Johnny could have done a good job. Boss was right. The difference between a raven and a crow is their large size, the beak, and flight pattern.
Thank you.
Lucky kiss. I do think it's an okay film with a more important real life lore and mystery to it compared to like the superhero stuff. And compared to the superhero stuff of the time, I think it did a great job looking back. They also did a fantastic job in honoring Brandon Lee in it. They didn't misrepresent him in any way. It is a tragedy. It is a film that marks a very sad story in Hollywood history. But definitely let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Is The Crow must watch? Anything else that I must have left out? Facts wise, let us know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Remember to always and forever, you do you.
Bye.
Boosh. I think my hair dried up already.
Think so?
Yeah.